Hi folks, let's chat about something that I frequently get requests to talk about, and that is designing and teaching a geotech club at a school. Now, my colleagues and I on the SRE education team sometimes hear from educators, parents, and those in the GIS community who have successfully run geotechnology clubs at their local school. Over the last few years, I've also had the opportunity to run my own geotech club, first at a local middle school and then at a local high school. Now, time does not permit me to go into too much detail, and you probably have stuff to do, so let me just cut to the chase. I'd welcome a dialogue on this topic, but I do wish to share the approach that I've taken and what I've learned in the process. Number one, an after-school club is an excellent way for students to engage in GIS, remote sensing, GPS, and web mapping. That's a given. You don't have the constraints that you have in the regular classroom, and there's other reasons we could name why the after-school club approach is a great one. Now, second, since it is a club, I encourage you to make the activities fun and engaging. I hand out cool maps, satellite images, and other mapping-related items. Be creative. Get some pins, some buttons, some of those rubber wristbands, whatever you can find. Also, we investigate current issues using GIS, so the format of the class is rather flexible. Some of the topics that we use are just things that come up in the news, whether it's natural disaster related or something in the local community. Also, during every class, I bring in real job ads requiring GIS skills, and here's the key, in the local area, and then we can discuss career decisions and work environments. That's really powerful for the students to see that right here in my own community there are actually GIS-related jobs, or scientific or other kinds of jobs, STEM-related, that actually require some geotechnology skills. Number three, I start the school year with field data. I get right out in the field right away. We gather data about noise, litter, trees and shrubs, bugs, social zones, cell phone reception, and infrastructure like light poles and cable boxes on the school campus using GPS receivers and smartphones. Ooh, we get to use our smartphones in the club? Cool. Also, we map our field collected data in ArcGIS Online. Now, fourth, I ask the students, what are you interested in mapping and examining? Rather than me directing everything, I ask them, what are they interested in? Fifth, choose a variety of topics and scales. We examined local to global issues such as urban sprawl, open space trails, business site locations, population change and characteristics, lifestyles, watersheds, weather, natural hazards, energy, biodiversity, and more. Number six, soon after the second semester begins, I start instructing less and let the students pursue an independent project of their own choosing. One student in my last Geotech club created an ArcGIS online map with data points and photographs to support the field trips that the earth science teacher was conducting. Another made a map-based project comparing all the local lunch spots that the students could go to in the school. Another student made a map with all of the Major League Baseball stadiums, complete with team logos used as point symbols, and using satellite imagery to look at the angle of the ball, and so on. Seventh, since there is so much competition for students' time in school, I make sure that I'm not only advertising the club via school newsletters, announcements, and websites, but I also take advantage of the best way to grow a club. I encourage the students in the club to go out and tell their colleagues and bring their friends. Eighth, ensure that the club is well supported by the school's teachers and administrators, and build connections between them about what you're doing in the club to ensure the school's buy-in, but also to connect it with the school's focus areas. Career academies, for example, are an important part of the high school housing the Geotech club that I focused on and facilitated this past year. The themes of geology, geography, geotechnology, inquiry, content areas, and critical thinking skills became an important part of the school's STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math components in their academy, and I hope in the future their business and global studies academies. The career academies required participating students to focus on certain coursework and skills, and the STEM academies pathways on computer technology and earth, energy, and the environment were particularly well aligned with the Geotech Club. I was thrilled when one of the students from the club decided to focus on GIS for her senior capstone project. Yes! An advanced research project that results in a research paper, a poster, and a presentation. I was very impressed at the quality and the professionalism during the day in which this student and her peers, the other senior capstone project participants, presented for their peers, parents, and teachers. If you are not already running a geotech club at a school, what activities would you include in it? If you are not running such a club, I encourage you to look into it or encourage others to do so. What I would love to see is for the students to direct the activities of their own club and ideally run the club themselves. Is this happening anywhere? So I'd love to hear your feedback on that, and thanks for listening to this little discussion on designing and teaching a geotech club at a school. Thanks.